Assalamualaikum and good afternoon to the lecturer whom I respect, Zulpanji Hidayat. My name is Nur Ali Batrisha binti Mama Azmi and my matrix number 2243017. Today I would like to sharing about management in Islamic perspective. To start, I would like to focus on definition of management in Islamic perspective. There are six keywords that I would like to highlight about definition of management in Islamic perspective. First one is definition of Islam. What is Islam? Islam is a system of life, unlike capitalism and socialism, which excludes religion. And the second one, unique nature of Islam as a system of life. Islam is a unique system of life that can be separate about the world and the hereafter, unlike other general systems. The third one, comprehensive guidance from the Quran. Management in Islam are revealed. We are getting source from the Quran to explain everything and to guide for mankind and covering all our aspects of life. And the fourth one, Sharia as the guiding law. In Islam, the Quran also provides us a complete Sharia, which is law for human life. And it is essential for us to follow this Sharia. And for who doesn't know, for us who do not know anything, it is stated in Surah Al-Jasiyah, Ayah 18. The fifth one, role of the Quran in knowledge development. Quran as our source for all kind of development, especially in science, including management. And the last one, which is management and Islam. Islam provides the foundation for the implementation and development of management principles, guiding human actions in line with Islamic teachings. Now, I would like to move on to definition of management from expert perspective. There are 3 points, which is management is a cooperative process focused on organizational development and personal management. The second one is Islam provides moral guidance on how individuals in an organization should behave. For the last one, management is the science and art of working together within an organization applicable in all fields. Example, economics, education, health, politics, and worship, and many more. Next, let's move on to the Arabic terms for management that I found in my journal research. There are 4 Arabic terms for management. Number first, al-idara. What does it mean? It means to organize or manage. It is found in the Quran to describe Allah's governance over the heavens and earth. It is stated in Surah As-Sajdah, Ayah 5. The second one is tadbir, which is the same meanings as al-idara, means to organize or manage. The third one, al-imara, refers to managing or taking care of, such as in management of Masjidil Haram. It is stated in Surah At-Tawbah, Ayah 19. Last terms for management is al-nizam, means to arrange or assemble or regulate. This is referring to organizational systems. Let's move on to Islamic perspective on management. There are 2 of them. Number one is technical side. From technical side, they can manage resources to drive cooperation and to achieve goals. And the second one is regulatory side. This side means to create rules and norms for collaboration, and it is based on Sharia, which governs the human behavior. Now, I'll move on to the next slide, which is about methodology in Islamic management. There are two methodology. There are Islamic study methodology. It means studying management that requires knowledge of faith, knowledge of usul faith, and also hadith and tafsir. The second method is role of scholars, which is Islamic scholars that use their knowledge to uphold the Sharia, ensuring that management practices are in line with Islamic teachings. It is stated in Surah Fatir ayat 28. Let's move on to the Sharia laws on cooperation based on the journal that I have researched. It is talking about Sharia laws on cooperation, which is Ta'awun verse, mean cooperation in Islam is based on kindness and piety as per the Quran that stated in Surah Al-Ma'idah ayat 2. Management as a cooperative process is bound by Sharia laws. There are two types of Sharia laws. First is Taklifi laws. Taklifi laws is including orders, prohibitions, and choices. In management practices, this law must align with the management practices with the law which what that is to be prohibited that and permitted by the Sharia. Branch of knowledge in Islamic perspective of management. There are one which is Aqliyah that is mean rational knowledge. Management is a rational knowledge science based on the human experience in organization. This is similar to other natural science because it goes through observations and experiments. This is from Ibn Khaldun classification. He said that knowledge is divided into two, which is Naqli means derived from revelation and Tabi'i, human research on natural phenomena. Management in Islamic falls under Tabi'i. Tabi'i here means that a Muslim from the generation after the companions of Prophet Muhammad SAW who learned the teachings of the comparisons secondhand, the short form followers or successors. Now let's look at the two aspects of knowledge, which is physical and spiritual aspects. For spiritual, it involves the recognition that all knowledge originates from Allah. And for physical aspects, it deals with objective process. In Islamic management practices, in action, basically is organizations under the Islamic paradigms that involves using all available resources that are similar and follow the Sharia guidelines. Furthermore, there are three management sustainability in Islam, which is management in early Islam that is under the Prophet's leadership, and also management under the rule of al-Rashidin, which is fall under the caliphs like Abu Bakr, Abu Bakr, Sayyidina Umar, Sayyidina Uthman, and also Sayyidina Ali. Last management is by post-Khulafa al-Rashidin, which is the Umayyads, and the Abbasids, and the Ottomans. Let's start with the management in the time of the Prophet Muhammad SAW. In this time management, it is rightly guided by our Prophet Muhammad SAW. He is focusing on our da'wah, that is spreading the message of Islam in starting from Mecca. The Prophet started the da'wah with secret preaching. Then it moves to public preaching. And when he moved to Medina, he faced the resistance, where there is foundation for an organized society. There, where he built the Masjid al-Nabi. And for the leadership structure, Prophet Muhammad SAW had a centralized leadership in power but decentralized the management of public services. Lastly, for the spiritual and political leadership by Prophet Muhammad SAW, he was also the prayer leader and the spiritual guide for the people along the Dawah management. And the next slide is about the time when management under the Khulafa ar-Rashidin time. For example, management under the Sayyidina Umar ibn Khattab. He institutionalized the Baitul Mal. He divided it into sections for managing income and expenses such as zakat, public welfare, and infrastructure. The last management in Islamic sustainability, which is after the Khulafa ar-Rashidun, three leadership. The first one, the Abbasid leadership, they shifted towards they focusing more to centralized governance and Islamic culture, Arabic language, and military expansion. For the Umayyads leadership, they were known for their emphasis on education and scientific progress. They built institutions like Baitul Hikmah, means a house of wisdom, and also funded in many madrasah schools for public education. The government paid the teachers and the scholars that everyone had the chance to become a student or a teacher based on their knowledge. For the third leadership, which is the Ottomans, they focusing more on military to they focusing more on military strength and they try to unify the Islamic world after the fall of the Baghdad. Panjang orang punya pemerintahan, they also managed to do Hajj operations, ensure pilgrims that could travel to Mecca and Medina with ease. There are madrasah that move everywhere, especially around Mecca and Medina, that funded, which means they are wakaf, charitable endowments. In conclusion, I believe that Islamic management is not just a technical but a practical practice that approach that emphasize the welfare of both individuals. And management is both an art and a science. Moreover, in Islam, leadership is seen as a trust, amanah, that the managers are expected to lead with fairness, equality, respect for human dignity, and a sense of responsibility toward God and society. I can say that from Islamic perspective, management differs from other approaches that it is deeply rooted in spiritual and ethical principles. Islamic management are more focusing on moral guidance that teach Islamic teachings such as justice, transparency, accountability, and into the decision-making process based on the Quran and Sunnah. Thank you. That's all from me.